I teased the sound. Let's play it. Baldy earlier, I asked him straight up, Bonta, what are we doing? Let's go get Vita Vea, right? Come on.
Yes, absolutely. Like if you got a chance to get Vita Vea, who cares about the money? That's the accountant's job, is to take care of the money. Like if you got a chance to get Vita Vea, you watch everybody on the defensive line and at linebacker get better. Like there's a reason why they basically won the division 5 years in a row with him. Now they got hurt last year, but that guy is a great, great player, and he's more than a run stuffer. Like you let that guy go one-on-one with any center or guard in this league, he's going to destroy him. Destroy him. His Polynesian power is unmatched. Yes, if they have a chance, like I've been saying, like if the Giants want to go compete in the NFC East, they should go trade for him. That's the biggest position weakness they have. If you want Arvell Reese to be in the Pro Bowl this year, like go get Vita Vea. You want Fred Warner to get back and Dre Greenlaw to get back to where they are, put Vita Vea in the middle of that defensive line.
I'm sold. Once he said Polynesian power, Bonta, I'm all in on Vita Vea coming over here to San Francisco. Why not? And he also waxed poetically about Grayson Halton, and who impressed him in that preseason game 1.
Listen, he's the one guy. I try not to get caught up in, hey, go trade for this guy, go trade for that guy. But the moment Vita Vea said he wanted to get traded, and then I stepped foot at training camp and said, outside of Osa, Diggy Zua, I think he needs somebody. I think he needs to, like Alfred Collins, the tape did not look good in the first preseason game. Now, he's working himself back from his shoulder injury. He's trying to get back in shape. And he came along, I thought Collins had a solid rookie season. But Vita Vea, we're talking about a superstar. We're talking about a guy who could get after the quarterback, is a space eater. And you put him next to Osa, and all of a sudden, it frees up Nick Bosa. It frees up Romello Height. It frees up Jaden Duggar. It frees up Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner. When Mykel Williams gets back, I mean, Vita Vea is a difference maker. So to me, if you can do it and worry about the money later, you do it. Because you know who's out there fishing for Vita Vea? The Dallas Cowboys, the LA Rams. We have no idea what the Seattle Seahawks are thinking right now. It is a who's who of teams trying to line up to go get Vita Vea because they know how good he is. So, yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer. Your defense goes from top 10 to maybe top 5. He's that good. And I think they do have a top 10 defense right now. Even with the lack of pass rush, I think they got the secondary is looking really good right now. But Vita Vea takes you from, maybe we get to the NFC title game to, we're going to LA for the Super Bowl. That's how important Vita Vea is. And I think John Lynch, he's shown us in years past, he will pick up that phone and make a move.
Yeah. No, I think you got to do that here because you're like, you look at this Niners core right now, like it's reaching the end. Like these guys, they're 29, 30, 31, 32 years old. Like there is not a whole lot of runway left for this current 49ers core that's had so much success. And you're getting to the point where, we've said Super Bowl or bust in the past. And, with how much time you have left with this group, I do think, you got to just go all out, figure it out at this point, get some more help in, because how many more runs do you have left with this group before you got to start clearing out and bringing in the next core of guys, whatever that looks like?
What's your core? What group are you talking about? Because Brock Purdy's still relatively young. That's your quarterback.
Well, yeah, but you look around the rest of the line.
I think he mentions Bosa, CMC, Fred Warner.
Fred Kittle.
Fred Warner's sturdy.
Trent.
Fred Warner's fine. Fred Warner's flying around sideline to sideline.
But at 30 years old, you're no longer in the early parts of your career. 30 years old, even as a great linebacker, the time is ticking.
Well, the time is ticking, but Fred Warner's got a few years left.
Okay,
come on,
take
man.
Fred out of there. Could this be the last season of Trent Williams in a Niners uniform, Nick Bosa, and Christian McCaffrey? I think yes, that could be. That is a realistic possibility.
I don't even feel comfortable about Bosa being back next season.
They've tried to replenish the well though with a lot of youth here. So when George Kittle, we'll see about. I get that he's getting long in the tooth, but Travis Kelce, we thought he was done 4 years ago. He's still playing. Yeah. Now, he's not the Travis Kelce that we've seen in his prime, but he's still a serviceable player. Right. And so I see the same thing with George Kittle in the next few years. So I would pump the brakes before we start writing obituaries about these players. It could be true for a couple guys, but I see Fred Warner being the best linebacker in all of pro football. But with that said, it is a Super Bowl or bust type of mindset. Because when you step back from last year, and I saw your cut from yesterday, Spinoni and Loveman, and I wholeheartedly disagree about there being a big gap between the Niners and the Seahawks and the Rams.
Okay.
The 49ers won 12 freaking football games in the regular season with a bunch of who's. I mean, with nobody. And then you beat the Philadelphia Eagles in a wild card game. All right, you turn around 6 days later, you get your clocks cleaned by Seattle. I get it. It doesn't look good. But you're right there with those two teams. Hell, you beat the freaking Rams last year with Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne and Alfred Collins making the player of the year. All right? You beat the Seahawks in week 1 of the season with no George Kittle. His hamstring got popped in early in the second quarter. So I don't buy this, hey, there's a Grand Canyon-sized gap between the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Rams got Myles Garrett, but the Niners got Bosa back. They got Warner back. You got Purdy back. You brought in Deebo. You brought in Mike Evans. The hell with those damn teams in the NFC West.
You
got my blood boiler right now, Spadoni.
You are not comparing.
You're feeling very confident about Nick Bosa.
Hold on. You are not comparing the carcass of 3 torn ACLs on Nick Bosa
I don't know if I call him a
to
carcass.
the DPOY of Myles Garrett, who had 23 sacks last season.
Not comparing them. You're getting those players back. I'm not comparing the player for player.
Yeah, but what version of Nick Bosa are you getting back? What version? I know what version of Myles Garrett's going to the Rams. What version of Nick Bosa is going to the 49ers? You guys tendonitis. Not even practicing.
We don't know. We don't know. That's a fact. We don't know about Nick Bosa, but I know about Fred Warner.
I love Fred.
I know about Trey Greenlaw. All right.
I love them. Where were they last year?
I know about De'Zhaun Stribling right now. I know about Mike Evans and Deebo Samuel. I know that. So, and these are division games that are always, do you know what I like to say? They're always different.
There it is.
I've heard that phrase before.
So I'm not buying this, oh my God, doom and gloom, the Rams are so good. The Rams are so good. The Seahawks and this and that. I'm not buying that. The Niners were right there. Hell, they win that game against Seattle, and I know they got beat up 13-3, and really Seattle controlled that football game. It wasn't pretty.
Mm-hmm. That CMC
but you're playing for a conference. You're playing for the number 1 seed in that football game. Yeah. You're playing for the number 1 seed.
And they were again, CMC, I mean, he dropped that ball in the red zone. I feel like that kind of swung so much momentum in that game, Bonta. Maybe we're talking about a whole different thing here. But, I mean, I don't know if we could debate what the gap looks like between these two teams. Right now, it just feels like those two teams, the Niners are looking up at them just here at the start of the season. Whether that's the same later on in the year, we can certainly change that narrative as the season goes along. But, I mean, you look at the Rams, as scary as they look, they're kind of like a sports car. One thing breaks and goes down. It could fall apart really fast. That's a fragile team. Seahawks, we don't know what they're going to look like with their new coaching situation. And Sam Darnold might be the most doubted Super Bowl winning quarterback we've seen in recent memory in terms of just there is still a level of you still need to show me, Sam, that you could keep doing this year after year, even though he's done it 2 years in a row at a very high level.
New Hard Knocks tonight, Bonta.
Even Darnold had turnover problems last year, though.
I'll watch Hard Knocks, and I've been watching Hard Knocks to see what's going on in Seattle, and they got a good thing going on. They do. You can't deny that. I mean, they got a deep D line. I love Witherspoon at corner. You could blitz him. You saw him blitzing all over the place in the Super Bowl. I love their coach, Mike McDonald. Look, they got it going on. They're the Super Bowl champs. There's no doubt about it. To beat a man, you have to beat the man. Mm-hmm. The Niners going to have to beat them at some point this season, whether it's in the playoffs, in the regular season, within the division, does not matter. You got to go through Seattle. I get it. But this doom and gloom about the LA Rams. Oh, my God, the Rams this and the Rams that and the Rams this and the Rams that.
I mean, they are talented. They are talented, though. On paper, you could see why.
They were talented last year.
They were. They were a quarter away from going to the Super Bowl. They were close. They were almost there.
You know what? We've been saying about the 49ers. They're a quarter away from being Super Bowl champs.
That's true.
They didn't win the game.
Yeah, they didn't.
Did they even win the game?
They didn't. But they got further than the Niners did. Yeah.
Let's be fair. The Rams were lucky to get past Carolina in the wild card round in the playoffs. They were lucky to get past Carolina in the wild card round. They were lucky to get past the Chicago Bears with no experience in the divisional round.
Too.
So all this damn thing talk about the Rams is, again, Denny Green, you want to crown them, crown them.
Well, they have
Go
one
ahead and
ring.
crown them. We'll see week 1 in Australia when the Niners kick their damn ass in Melbourne. I'm sick of this.
I'll say this. I'll agree with you on this.
It's starting to be crazy.
When McVay and Shanahan get together, we throw out the phrase when rivalries, throw out the records when those teams meet. I do consider Shanahan McVay, whenever they match up, that is, I consider a legitimate throw the records out when those two guys meet. I feel good about any game against the Rams, Shanahan versus McVay. Then again, I think McVay is just as likely to beat Shanahan on any given day. So I'll feel comfortable about the Niners going down to Melbourne and showing out against the Rams and getting the job done there, just because I do have that kind of faith in Shanahan against his rival and Sean McVay there.
Well, McVay, look, Shanahan and McVay have had some wars, right?
Oh, yeah. They have
I'm
great
just
battles.
looking here. I'm just looking here. At one point, the Niners beat the Rams 9 straight times. Now they got that one game, the Super Bowl.
Oh, the biggest game that was played.
Yeah, we don't need to
gloss over that.
Let's not haggle over the details here.
But I mean, look, they got fortunate. They
were frauds that year.
We'll see though. We'll see all this. It's August 18th, and when I'm walking down the street, or I'm looking at Twitter, or I'm popping you guys on, and it's just like, oh, well, we don't have this and it's over, and all the Rams and the Seahawks and blah 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 blah.
It's good Shasky
It's
impersonation.
just annoying.
You didn't hear the
annoying.
segment where I defended Brock Purdy and said he was one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. You didn't hear that one. It's a whole hour soliloquy on why Brock should be a tier 1 quarterback, Bonta. All right? You missed that one.
Well, Brock, hey, look, I'll say this about Brock Purdy, and I've been critical of Brock Purdy in the past. The dude has been on fire. And I know it's camp. And right on his practice, Bonta. He's throwing deep down the field. He's throwing with velocity. He's got command of this offense. And he looks fully healthy. And nobody's talking enough about that. Now, I get it. He's going to have to prove himself. Once the season kicks off, it's go time. And all the excuses, and we'll get to Brock Purdy and what he is as a quarterback and where you want to rank him and all that nonsense. But the man looks like he is on fire right now. He looks like the guy we saw back in 2023. He's locked in, and he's got new toys. Again, De'Zhaun Stribling is a hell of a toy to have on the outside. Mike Evans, once they get their chemistry together, you got your old buddy in Deebo Samuel. I feel really good about this offense if healthy. Again, the key word, if healthy.
I mean, Mike Evans.
And I know it's more pertinent to the 49ers, but if they are healthy, I expect them to smoke the Rams week 1 in Melbourne, Australia. I swear to God. The Rams are making a mistake flying in the day before
I
and flying right
agree with you
out.
wholeheartedly there.
That's arrogance right there. Is what
that is dumb.
That is
it is arrogance. I don't give a damn about the Rams.
Gnarly time change.
I don't give a damn about the Rams. I'm sick and tired of hearing about them being Super Bowl favorites and being on prime time and, Myles Garrett and this and that. I don't care about the Rams.
I miss radio.
I don't care about the Seahawks right now. Damn.
I love it.
The Rams this and the Rams that. Might as well not even play the season out with the way you guys are talking about the Rams.
Well, no, because I wanted to, because then I want you to strut in on that Tuesday morning after the Niners, beat the snot out of the Rams in Melbourne. I want you on Friday. I want you to swagger in with that big old Bonta smile on your face and say, I told you, I told you so. I'm excited for that day. That'll be a fun day for me. But you bring up Brock, and we talked about this with Baldy, and to be honest, Bonta, I agree with you. We're not hearing enough about how good Brock is doing in training camp. Personally, I think that's kind of a good thing. I think we're at a point in Brock's career where no news is good news. Like, are we ever, talking about what Josh Allen is doing in training camp? Not really. Patrick Mahomes coming off an ACL injury. We're not hearing a whole lot about what he's got going on. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Quarterbacks, when they get to a certain point, it's like the less I'm hearing about you in the preseason, the better, because but Baldy said, Brock's just fine-tuning things right now. He's just getting his reps in with De'Zhaun Stribling on the side. He's getting the reps in with Mike Evans on the side. I don't need Brock to really prove anything to me in the preseason, if that's even a thing that he needs to do right now. And I'm in agreement with you, Bonta. He's coming in his age 26 season. I've got a feeling that Brock is primed to do what he did in that 2023 season, especially with Mike Evans, who is by far and away, I think, the best receiver he's ever had to work with. If Deebo Samuel really is popping like you say he is, that gets me super excited as to what this offense could be. And, I'm curious to see how much we're going to see of Brock on Thursday night against the Chargers. I hope to get at least one series of Brock out there connecting with De'Zhaun Stribling, just to give me a little sampling morsel of what that beauty could look like once the season starts.
Just a nibble, Bonta.
I want one of those little sample things, like you get like you go to Costco and you get the free sample. I want one of those, a little free sample of Brock and De'Zhaun Stribling. Like, ooh, I like this. I want to buy more of this product. Like, that's what I'm excited for.
You're a big free sample guy at Costco, huh, Bonta? Come on.
Listen,
free samples at Costco.
Am I greedy for going back to the same sample table twice or 3 times?
No, that's just called being normal.
I did that with the pepper jack cheese at Costco the other day. I circled back, like, man, that's some good stuff, man.
It's good stuff,
out there,
and you never buy it. Whatever they're putting out there, you never buy it.
Never buy it.
No, because
I've never bought anything from the sample table.
But hey, if I get a nice tasty sample of Brock and De'Zhaun on Thursday, you bet your bottom dollar I'm buying boxes and boxes of it.
Bonta's been a proponent, right, B, about these guys playing like their starters in the preseason. You've been on that, right? Oh, we got a baby crying. It's okay. Baby's crying. It's good.
You hear the baby crying? You hear her crying?
Is she upset that we're talking about the Rams too much?
Yeah, she doesn't like the Rams.
Well, she was just looking at me. She's like, why is Papa so angry? Why is he so red right now?
Papa, the Rams are still frauds.
Mama, hook her up. Take her out of here. Get her. We're doing live radio over here.
Get that baby out of here.
Get the baby out of here. We're doing live radio.
The morning baby roast.
Oh, that's good. I love that.
What was the question?
No, you were a big proponent of like starters playing in the preseason is what I was getting at, because you've talked about this in years past about like the early season struggles for some of these teams in the regular season, that is maybe being attributed to a lack of preseason time.
Yeah, I like to see him play for a couple segments, a couple possessions, I should say, segments. I'm in radio mode.
Radio Bonta.
Couple possessions here. Yeah, give me a first quarter. Seriously, like back in the heyday, I know we're going back in time. You look at these week 1 and week 2 games and how sloppy they could be because of the lack of time, the lack of game reps in these. Like, I don't like it. And I think that sometimes kills the Rams. And now I want to go back and I'm going to look back at their week 1 records under Sean McVay and see how they play and how they come out. And I'm really curious about that, because they were the first team that I can remember where they said, we're not playing nobody in the preseason. Nobody's getting game reps. Now you get the joint practices and you get some reps within that, and that's a nice controlled environment where you're going up against ones and there's some hitting going on. But I do want to see the feel, get out there in the game mode. 50, 60,000 fans out there screaming, coming out of the tunnel. Get your routine right. Get ready to roll here. So I'm with you in terms of playing a quarter, maybe a few possessions, just to get the rust off, get what it's like to be in a game, move the sticks a little bit. I want to see some Brock Purdy this Thursday. I do.
No, and I'd love to see the connection with him and Stribling, obviously. And I think the fan base would be pumped if they just saw that. Then they're going to start getting in your mindset, I think, Bonta, where you were saying last week, like, imagine the healthy trio of Deebo, of Mike Evans, of Stribling. And I do think this could be a banner year for John Lynch. We were kind of talking about it earlier. Like, stock might be down for some Niner fans. And when I say some, it feels like, a loud minority, but people are frustrated with the lack of young talent at times with this team. Yeah. But if Stribling becomes a dude, if all of a sudden this guy, Jaden Duggar, who I'm seeing flash potentially, Grayson Halton, if Romello Height could pop potentially, we'll see with Kalon Black, and Mike Evans, obviously being the prime guy that you got in free agency. All of a sudden.
And Osa.
Diggy Zua, big trade, right? Is he getting slept on to Diggy Zua a little bit, you think?
Well, listen, this is what people, I think, fail. We got to look deeper into these drafts.
Yeah.
Because when you trade picks for players, that's part of the draft process. Yep. You traded picks for Trent Williams. You traded picks for Christian McCaffrey. Yep. And I remember coming into the show, it was Lubman and Shasky right after the draft, and everybody's losing their mind because of Mel Kiper's big board, and nobody in the Niners went away from Mel Kiper's big board.
Can't do that.
Todd McShay's big board. And I'd say, guys, y'all got to chill. Y'all got to chill with the war room stuff. And Warren Sharp is saying, the value picks of all these guys. All of a sudden, I hear everybody and their mama saying, boy, De'Zhaun Stribling wasn't going to last long. The 49ers had to scoop him up, blah, 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 blah. He may be the best receiver in the class. It was so evident what the Niners were trying to do in the draft. They got their ass kicked in Seattle 41-6. They didn't look athletic. They didn't look fast. They didn't look physical. So what did they do in the draft? They got faster, more physical, and more athletic. De'Zhaun Stribling, Romello Height, Grayson Halton, Jaden Duggar, who looks like, I don't know where the hell they're going to do with Duggar. I'm excited to see what goes on with that. But Kalon Black, physical, gets downhill, a red zone threat, has a nose for the end zone. We saw the way he ran into the playoffs for Indiana against Bama, against Oregon, and later on against Sam Lubman's Miami Hurricanes. Listen, they got faster. So I do like this draft class. And, a lot of the noise coming out of that NFL draft, we'll see if they have the last laugh or not. There's a lot of time that we got to see what they look like on game day. No, you can't crown them yet and say, hey, take your victory lap about this NFL draft. But I do like the way they went about their draft process this past season. And so far, you got some dudes. Priceock at corner.
Yeah.
About to play. He made in the red zone.
He made a great one on Carnell Tate. Yeah. We asked Baldy about him. I don't know if you have the Baldy cut on Priceock. If not, it's fine. But no, Baldy, I mean, what did he talk about? Like, just the length of Price sucked. The fact he was draped all over.
He's just a long cornerback that is just kind of prototypical style that you want in today's NFL that could go up against these big boys. And Cardinal Tate, we'll see. Again, he's a rookie too. I don't know. They felt like he was kind of overdrafted. I was shocked that they picked him with the number 4 overall pick. Robert Saleh being a defensive guy in his own right. But hey, Price Hawks shut him down. Cardinal Tate 0.000 didn't do anything in preseason game 1. Cam Ward, by the way, yikes, that did not look good for him.